Hey, if you're looking to create a set of financial projections for a haunted house business or similar type of seasonal Halloween type of event based business, then you've come to the right place, because we have built a financial projection template here that is built specifically for a haunted house type model. And we've taken some information. There's actually a Wall Street Journal article that kind of walk through the details of one of these example businesses. And so we tried to take some data from that and kind of get that into the model as a baseline, and just to give you an idea of how the business model works. And obviously it's a very seasonal business, and so modeling out cash flow throughout the year while you're waiting for your Super Bowl, for your big time of the year, in terms of revenue, is important. And so that's what I'm going to show you in this video. I'm going to walk you through how to fill it out. So if you're pitching to potential investors or potential lenders, this could be helpful in putting together a set of projections for them. So I'm going to put a link in the description of the video below here, so you can grab this template and follow along. Also, if you stick around to the very end of the video as a thank you, we're going to give you access to a coupon code as our thank you for sticking around. And I guess just a little bit more before I dive into the details here. My background, I was SBA lender for 12 years. We made over 1,500 SBA loans during my time as executive director. And now I own ProjectionHub, and we help people create financial projections for all sorts of different businesses and industries, really all around the world. And so today we just thought we'd do something fun. This is more of a fun type of model for us, just to do something creative, working on a haunted house model here. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'll show you how it works. All right, so this is the at a glance tab. So once you've filled out all of the assumptions, this is where you're going to come and get to see a number of data points, really at a glance, some graphs and charts. You'll see this here's the, I got to move this down a little bit. Here's your monthly sales forecast, but it's very seasonal, obviously. And so we'll go through that, but you're also going to get a 5-year income statement summary here, a 5-year cash flow summary, a 5-year balance sheet, and then the income statement, cash flow, and balance sheet all broken down by month for each of the 5 years. So we'll see in this example here, the projections are starting in June here, and then revenue is almost all in October, with a little bit of revenue in September and a little bit in November. So that's how we've got this set up. And let me walk you through the different inputs here. Okay, so on the input tab here, we're going to go through and fill this out. Any cell that's highlighted in blue is an assumption you can change without breaking something in the model. So we've got our company name, Haunted House. We've got a projection start month of June 1st. We're going to have to get started and get ready and ramp up. So we're starting June 1st. We are going to invest $400,000 into the operation. From an accounts receivable perspective, we're getting paid 100% of our revenue upon providing the service. So, somebody comes to the haunted house, they're paying for their ticket right then, right? Accounts payable, we're paying 80% of our bills in the month incurred, 20%. Maybe we put on a credit card, we incur the expense this month and then actually pay that out the following month. Inventory, let's say we start with a little bit of inventory, $10,000 of inventory, and then that inventory is going to ebb and flow as our sales ebb and flow. And so we'll make this inventory held as a percentage of revenue. So we've got that set to 30% of revenue here. And then here's kind of our fixed assets. So we've got the big upfront cost of let's say we're buying a building for $1,970,000 and maybe doing some improvements and renovations to get it ready. Then maybe we bought an animatronic dragon, and we got some foam corpses and other items that we're going to need here. So fixed assets here. And then the way we set this up is that in month 1 we bought these 3 items, right? These first 3, and then basically each year we thought, okay, we're going to add some additions each year. So $15,000 worth of kind of additional fixed assets or improvements each year. And then we've got a loan here for $2 million. We're going to say, maybe we ought to say 10% interest rate here for a 10-year term. And let's look at the revenue model. So on the revenue model, again, this is a very unique business because of the seasonality of it. But so the way we've got this set up is you can set average visit length in hours. And really the only reason for that is just to be able to kind of show us here how many visitors we're projecting to get per hour or simultaneously, so that we can know like whether our projections are like staying within like fire code, for example. So what we have here is we're able to put in by day. So what we're able to do here is by day put in how many visitors we expect to have each day. Okay, so it's going to be, here's our Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the specific, dates of the calendar on the calendar, and we can update that for every single day. We can say how many hours we're going to be open each day as well. And then what that's going to do is, 2,100 visitors divided by our 4 open hours gives us 525 entries per hour. And we're up here, we're saying the average visit length is 1 hour, so we're only going to have simultaneous visitors of 525. Now, let's say it was 2 hours. So what that does, it means that if the average visit length was 2 hours, you're simultaneously going to have 1,050 people here. And so the reason you want to keep an eye on that is because you may have some sort of capacity limitation or fire code issue that says you got to stay below a certain amount. And so you need to, that's the reason that we're displaying that and want you to keep that in mind as you're modeling that out. So then this is just calculating kind of our total number of visitors for the season. And this was, again, from the Wall Street Journal article that we looked at in this example. There was an example haunted house that had 55,000 total visitors for the year and just 25 open days a month. So that's where we're coming up with these numbers now. Certainly, it's going to be based on all the other details, and, certainly you're going to need to make your own assumptions on that, but that's where we're coming up with those as a baseline here. Price per ticket, again, I think this is the price that the example was charging, so $35 a ticket. Set a 3% annual increase in visitors and a 3% annual increase in our ticket prices. And then here we have concessions. So concessions, we said 50% of visitors are going to get concessions as well. So you have some different concession options here, the price point, and you can say what the average number of each item sold per person that's going to buy. So you've got this number of customers that are going to buy something. So this month we've got 19,300 customers that are going to buy concessions, and we're saying on average 0.5% or 50% of customers will buy a soft drink, 30% will buy a beer, and so on. And so that gives you your concession revenue. And then we also have a gift shop. I might bring the gift shop down to, let's say, only 10% of customers buy something from the gift shop. Then we've got shirts, hats, hoodies, toys, and we can put a price and average cost in here as well. And then we also put in a little section where you can have kind of one-time events. Again, we kind of set this around the Halloween season. So we said 4 events in September, 5 events in October. And then you can kind of set different event packages here. Maybe this is on a weekday when you're not open to the public, but you're selling, special event packages here. Okay, and the next thing I want to look at is our expense tab here. And so this is, we have our different baseline expenses here. Insurance is probably going to be a big one. So we put $64,000 here for insurance. We've got performer labor. So here's your staffing basically, right? And so, October, that's going to be your highest month for labor costs. And we've got supply costs. We've got payment processing or credit card processing fees of 3% of revenue. We've got utilities, costumes, we've got property taxes, groundskeeping, and management. So maybe you've got management staff as well that's kind of managing the performers. And so that is really it. A pretty straightforward and simple business model, but important to understand your cash flow on this. And so, I think you can be highly profitable in this if it really works well, but also it could be a flop, right? So nobody comes. You don't really have a chance to make up for it if nobody comes, because it's such a seasonal business. Now, one thing I want to point out is look at the cash flow statement, the monthly cash flow statement, because you're going to be paying debt service on that loan all throughout the year, but you only have cash and incoming cash in just a couple months a year. And so you want to look at this number here and just make sure this never goes below 0. So look each year, it's going to drop down, and that's going to bump up when you when it's Halloween, and then probably drop back down in the off month. So that's the template. Thanks for sticking around to the end here. So again, as a thank you for for sticking around, we're going to give you access to coupon code. So go to the description of the video below and fill out our form. There's going to be a form for a coupon code. We'll email you our most up-to-date coupon code as our thank you to you. And if you found this video to be helpful at all, please give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and if you need any help filling it out, or maybe you have a different, kind of slightly different business model, and you need some help customizing or filling it out, reach out to us at support@projectionhub.com, and we'd be happy to help. All right, thanks.